guys, how's it going? I'm here in the hay barn and I'm trying to do a little bit of dust control. So what's happened is there's asphalt grindings in here, but there was a lot of crusher run and gravel and dust mixed in with them asphalt grindings, and running the skid steer back and forth on and twisting has kind of ground everything up into a real fine powder, and I was having trouble with a lot of dust in my hay barn, and I was having to wear a mask all the time just to drive stuff in here. So I've been working on wetting it down. This is the second time I've put water on it. The last time I put water on it was about 4 days ago. But anyway, I got our fire truck up here. This is our fire truck right here, hooked to the Massey Ferguson. It's got a high pressure water pump on it from Northern Tool, and it holds 1,000 gallons of water. You can pull it with a pickup or a tractor, and we use that for we got an older fire nozzle on it, and some of this hose right here we got from the fire department. My dad occasionally will donate new fire hose to the fire department, and we get some of the old hose. So we've got the fire hose and an old nozzle there. We did have a nicer nozzle, but we lost it. It fell off going down the road one day. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, it happened. But anyway, it's a pretty nice setup, and what we use it for is when we're doing brush fire or burning brush piles and stuff. We keep that tanker somewhere near the brush pile, as long as the temperature is high enough the water don't freeze. We keep it there with the fire, and we have had to use it before. We have had fires get out into the woods and have to put them out. We put fires out with it before, so it works good. I've also got the 1025 up here, 1026, excuse me. This one's a 26, and I got the everything attachments box blade, 54-inch box blade on it, and I'm using it to kind of stir the gravel back and forth and work the water in and try to get it to absorb as much as I can. It's kind of absorbing kind of slow. That's why I let it sit for a few days. But once I get this water on this time, I've got some calcium chloride that I'm going to spread in here, and then I'm going to water it again, and it's supposed to control the dust. So we'll look at that here in a minute. Right now I'm going to put some more water on. you're probably thinking I'm crazy for spraying water in here next to my hay, but I'm being very careful not to spray it on the hay, and I'm staying back away from the hay a few feet so the water doesn't run up underneath the hay. But I'm being really careful not to get water on this hay, and I mainly just want the center of the building where I'd run the machine back and forth. I want that dust free as best I can, and I got a lot of water pulled up here now, and I can kind of spread it back and forth with the box blade and get it mixed in. And then I'm going to put the calcium chloride on it, so hopefully it will stay moist in here for quite some time. And I have put water in, I haven't ever put water in this particular building, but I have put water in the other building I used to keep hay in, and it's never damaged the hay before, so I'm not concerned about damaging the hay. So anyway, yeah, let's get on the 1025 and run the box blade back and forth a little bit. 1026 rather. I don't know why I keep calling it 1025. 1026. Dennis, get it together. All right. so this is what I got to put on this floor in here, and this stuff is made for to keep dust down. Now it's called Dust Down Pro, and it is designed to go on like gravel roads and reduce dust. So, and it's dry pellets, and I've never used this stuff before, so this is my first experience with it. But I did order it on Amazon, and I'll put a link to it in the description, and that way y'all can check it out if you want to. But I think it was like, I can't remember, $65 or $70 for this bucket, but I think it's about enough to do what I'm trying to do. And I've got a spreader here I'm going to use to apply it. Now you can put this stuff down two different ways. One is you can mix it in the water and then spray it, but the thing is I did not want to run this calcium chloride, which is basically a type of salt which is corrosive, through that tanker, which the tanker's stainless steel. It probably wouldn't hurt the tanker, but the pump has, and a lot of the fittings, the pump's aluminum, but a lot of the fittings are cast iron, and I don't want to compromise all that stuff. So I didn't want to run the salt through the tanker. Now this is the same stuff that you see the Department of Transportation putting down on the roads before a winter storm, the liquid form. They use calcium chloride, they mix it with water to make the solution, and then they put it on the road before a snowstorm, and it helps melt the snow and ice that gets on the roads. And then here they also use salt, like pelletized salt, and some rock dust or number 10s, a small rock, and they mix it together and put it on the roads. But anyway, I'm going to put it in here and try to keep the dust down. And I'm not worried about salt getting on my equipment, because this water is going to dry, and it's just going to be, the ground's going to be damp, and it's not like it's going to be slinging water all over my equipment. So it's just going to be in the ground. It's not going to get on the equipment. But anyway, that's my hope anyway. So I'm gonna get the spreader, and we will start spreading this stuff out on the ground. This is what the stuff looks like in the spreader, and geez, just touching it will make you hot. And anyway, I'm going to spread it out on the ground. And you know, you might think this stuff is expensive, but it is kind of expensive, I guess. But you know, if it does what it's supposed to do in here, it's going to be worth it, really. I mean, I'm just tired of eating dust, and machines are eating dust, and I have to wear a mask all the time in here, unloading and loading hay, unless I got a cab and skid steer. But then the skid steer filters are eating dust, and if I could stop it, it's worth it. So, well, all right, let's give this a shot and see what happens. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put the whole 5-gallon bucket on the ground in here. And I'm mainly gonna put it right down the middle, because that's where the most traffic is. basically white down through there. I don't know that y'all can see it, but it's quite a bit of calcium on there. And I'm gonna, now all I gotta do is spray it with water again to dissolve it into the ground, and then just let it set and dry. And it should have some dust control, hopefully. So, all right. I got something else I want to show y'all I got for this tractor as soon as I put this water down. All right, so what I did was, after I put the pellets down, is I watered it really well until all the pellets were dissolved. You can't see any of the pellets anymore. And I just kept watering it until they were good and dissolved and soaked it and starting to soak into the ground. And this little project here, no wider and longer it was, I used the whole 1,000 gallon tanker load of water on it. The time I watered it twice, then I watered it twice, and I put the pellets down, and then I watered it again. So it was really, really dry in here. I mean, it was like concrete powder in here almost. You could, when I was putting the water down the very first time, it was stirring dust up so bad I had to put a mask on just to spray water, because it was so much dust coming off the water hitting the ground. I mean, it was terrible. You couldn't even like creep along with a tractor or a skid steer and keep the dust down. It would just engulf you. So anyway, it's starting to, it looks good right now, but we're gonna have to, once this water dries, and then over a month or two, we'll see if the dust stays down or if it comes back. So anyway, let's go see what else I got for this tractor. I hadn't got to try it out yet, and I want to take a look at it and try it on for size. Okay, so here's what I got. I got something else for the 1026, and it is this. The Artillean fork frame and a set of forks to go on the frame. Now, this was not cheap. This thing right here with shipping and everything was about pushing $1,200. But I know you can get the grapple to go on this fork frame, and that's kind of why I went with Artillean, because I wanted the to be able to get the grapple bed and the clamps to go on it later on, and I want to put the third function on the tractor and be able to have a grapple on this tractor for yard cleanup. I do a lot of yard cleanup after ice storms and snowstorms, and it just seems like I'm always cleaning up limbs and stuff. So I would like to get that, and yeah, so that's why I went with the more expensive fork frame and forks for this tractor. Now, I want to go ahead and put them on the tractor. I've never took the bucket off this tractor since I've owned it. I assume you just take these. That's not the correct pin, I don't think. That's just a tractor pin. Yeah, this one's the same way. There's supposed to be little cables hooked to these things, but looks like it's, I guess I need to order the right thing to go in them, because these are going to end up getting lost. So anyway, first time I ever took the bucket off this tractor. I've took the loader off several times, but I've never taken the bucket off, so let's see what happens. Was easy enough. See if I can get these fork framed on. Oh yeah, no problem. Get my pin pins. I think they're supposed to have cables to these, to this cotter pin here, but I'm not 100% sure. Just from watching other people do this online. I think I have to remove this, and it has some sort of graphite underneath it. This is just a protective cover, apparently. Yeah. So we take these off. Let's put this over here. Take this one off. Now, if you notice, this is the heavier duty frame. It'll also work on the bigger tractors, like the 2 and the 3 and the 4 series, I believe it said. Or maybe up to the 3 series. But it's supposed to be rated for 3,000 pounds. And it has a 2-inch receiver right here to, you can put a trailer hitch or something in it and move trailers and stuff like that. Anyway, we'll hang the fork on, move over here, lock it in, put another fork on, and it's just as simple as that. There we go. Now I have forks. So these are the 42-inch long forks. That's 3 inches wide, and I thought that would be plenty enough fork for this particular tractor. You can get them 36 inches in a 3-inch wide. You can get 36, 42, or 48, and in a 4-inch you can get, I don't remember the lengths in the 4-inch, but you can get a 4-inch wide fork. I know 48 and probably 42. I don't know about the 36, but really on a tractor this small, a 3-inch wide fork is going to do about all it can handle, unless you're trying to dig stumps with it, which I will not be. So all right, that's what I wanted to show y'all. Artillion forks, and that's it. I guess I'll explain why I got them. The reason I got these forks was to move pallets up in the hay barn. I'm always moving pallets in and out of the hay barn to stack my hay on. So what I was thinking was I could keep the tractor up there in the wintertime when I'm not using it around home as much with the box blade, because the skid steer is always tearing up the ground. So I can use the box blade to fix the ground back, and I can use the forks to handle my pallets, because right now I'm taking the hay grapple off the skid steer all the time to put forks on it, which isn't no big deal, other than you got the hydraulic hoses you got to deal with along with the skid steer coupler. It would just be more convenient to have the tractor sitting there with the forks already on it. You jump off the skid steer, go get on the tractor, move your pallets around. What I normally do is I put my square bales on pallets, so I'll get a stack of pallets out from outside, carry them inside, then I lay them all down by hand where I want them, and then put the hay on them. And as I use the hay, I stack the pallets back up by hand into a stack, and then I get the whole stack at one time with the forks. If not, you got to carry one pallet at a time from wherever your stack is, and that can get time consuming. So I, just trying to speed up the process a little bit. But anyway, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Come on now, you know I had to try it out. Come on now, you know I had to try it a little more. It'll still raise it too. That's a big old log. It's heavy.